is Becky Liggero for CoinGeek.com. I am here with the CMO and co-founder of Haste, Joe DePinto. Thank you so much for being here, Joe. Thank you for joining me on my panel here at CoinGeek Zurich. Love seeing you in person. This is awesome. So tell me, what are your thoughts of the CoinGeek conference and your first experience in Zurich?
It's been really cool. This is my first time really interacting with this community, and prior to this, seeing all these people on YouTube, now actually getting to meet them in person and feel like I'm actually kind of part of it, it's been incredible and really fun, hanging out with everybody after the conference is over and really getting to know the people. It's been really fun, really cool.
Love it, and I love seeing you chat with the other speakers and other people about maybe even doing some deals, I don't know, but it's really cool. It's exactly what these kinds of events are for. Yeah, and I think everyone has their eyes on Haste. You guys are doing such great work there, and another thing you're doing that I love so much is getting the mainstream involved with BSV blockchain. Can you tell me how you're creating a central concept that it's really easy for people to understand rather than just hammering technical details to them?
That's something I've noticed at this conference. I'm listening to all these panels, and most of the stuff, to be honest, goes a little bit over my head. I don't really come from this background, just being honest, and for me it was I just want people to start using blockchain, using Bitcoin in the real world. So what could we do that would help progress that? And from a common perspective, or a very simple perspective, we created these games that just use microtransactions in a way that I could explain to my friends, my parents, without having to go down the 4-hour, basic explanation of how blockchain works and what Bitcoin is, which is stuff that we've learned. But when my friends, we're at the bar talking about this, I can see their eyes glaze over after 2 minutes. So I was instead of just trying to talk people's ear off, what could we create that's very simple and straightforward? And I think Haste did a really cool job of that, the original game. And that's really what I think the strategy of our company and of our arcade is going to be moving forward, is what can we do that helps the mainstream, that helps people who are not necessarily interested in learning about blockchain start using it without realizing it. That's really what our end-all be-all goal is, at least for what we're doing in the near term.
Yeah, well, I mean, microtransactions are really only possible in the BSV blockchain, so blockchain obviously is involved, but how would one go about actually starting to play if they're I don't have a wallet, I don't know anything about this? How would you tell them to get started?
That's something that we're working on with the SDK. So right now you do have to have a wallet, and the easiest way to do it, Handcash is what we're using. So I'll have friends where I'll just say, hey, download Handcash, I'll send you some BSV just so you can start playing, and then they play a couple games, they make a leaderboard, they start getting pings from other people playing instantly, then they're like, okay, what is this? Now I'm gonna actually take the time to learn about it because I just made $4 after spending 20 cents. That was the goal. That's what we're hoping, and I've seen that happen multiple times now with my friends, who then go and tell some of their friends, and before you know it, people are learning about this and introducing people to Handcash and BSV without us, really promoting it. But I think in the longer term, we'll have some type of on-ramp where you don't have to necessarily understand the whole wallet process. You'll be able to do fiat without, like I said, having a wallet. And then if you actually win or you make a leaderboard, then, okay, you want to withdraw some of your winnings, now you are going to have to create a wallet. But that's the objective, okay? Now we're getting you into crypto without you even realizing, oh, I'm in crypto, I'm using BSV now.
I love that, because Joe, I don't come from a technical background, just like yourself. So I think that this is really, really exciting, where we're going to really see some progression here. Yeah. And another word that we hear all the time is tokens. And in fact, that word can even scare some people because they associate it with crypto and with blockchain. How are you going to be using tokens at Haste, and how are you going to make it super user-friendly for people?
So again, with an arcade, it was a very natural fit. We have tokens already. It's called the Haste token. And if you think about a classic arcade, right, you go and play skee ball or one of those games where you squirt the horses and they race or whatever. Whether you win or not, you still get tokens. And at the end of your time at the arcade, you go and you cash your tokens in for a stuffed animal or a PlayStation.
A ticket.
Yeah, exactly. So with us, it was just a natural type of fit for what we were doing. So anytime you play a game, whether you make a leaderboard or not, you're going to get tokens for playing that game. And so we have a daily distribution. It's 43,000, a little bit over 43,000 tokens. They get distributed to anyone who's played in the arcade that day. And the amount of tokens you get is basically based on how much you've spent in the arcade that day. So what you can do with those tokens, though, and this is something that we, it took us maybe one go around to figure this out, was we gave them real application use. So just like in a normal arcade, you turn your tickets in, you get a stuffed animal. Well, in our arcade, you redeem your tokens for BSV. BSV is our stuffed animal. And as time goes on, you'll be able to do other things, like there's this thing called Kivo, which I think is pretty cool. It's a hard wallet. But you'll be able to redeem your tokens for other blockchain-based items and stuff like that.
Really cool, really easy to understand. I love that. And on our panel, I know you did mention that you have the SDK coming up, and I hesitate to talk too much about things coming soon in the future, TM. What can you tell us about the SDK and about what we could potentially expect to hear from you at the next CoinGeek event?
Yeah, I mean, by then, my developers might get mad, but I would assume it's going to be done by then. It's not one of those things that's like coming soon, coming soon. This is actually the only thing they're working on right now, so we're not necessarily focused on putting out more games at the moment. We do just want to get this SDK done and then start marketing to the game developer world. So that's through publications, that's through working with like CoinGeek and people that they know in the space. But yeah, I think what could be the most exciting is we do want to find one like true game developer to start putting out real games that we can launch with the SDK. And we have some ideas for some like retro type games that we can do on our own as well. But really the whole point of what we're trying to get to right now is getting that SDK done. Like I said, developers, Eric, Keith, please don't get mad at me, but I hope that's done by October, by the next CoinGeek conference.
And just for the developers out there that might not be so familiar with BSV technology, the micropayments abilities really make this exciting because everyone can get a cut of everything and it's all instant. Can you just review really quickly how that all works?
So if you're a game developer, basically what we've done, what Haste is we call it the instant leaderboard payout, okay? And so that is a structure that we've built where basically if you pictured a leaderboard of 100 people, you play a game based on how you do, you end up somewhere on that leaderboard. For being on that leaderboard, you're going to get a percentage of every subsequent play until you're no longer on leaderboard. Now, if you're a developer, what's going to happen is you're going to get a percentage of the outputs of every game that you've submitted that gets played. So if I create a game, I submit it to the arcade, every time that game gets played, I'm getting a certain percentage. It's probably going to be anywhere from 5 to 10% of the output. And I think why that's cool is, you're going to be able to attract, or you're going to have an actual user base already who's willing to play your game just because they're interested in the ILP structure. So it's going to be cool. It's a great way for game developers to market their games to an already existing community who likes the games they're already playing because they're earning money from it. So that's really, if I was a developer, that's what I'd be interested in.
So cool. Joe, we all love your work so much at CoinGeek and can't wait to see what you come up with over the next year and coming years ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Such a pleasure to meet you in person.
Thank you for having me. This has been awesome.
And thank you guys so much for watching. This is Becky Liggero for CoinGeek.com.
Hi, it's Jimmy Nguyen, founding president of Bitcoin Association. I'm inviting you to the 8th CoinGeek conference. CoinGeek is coming back to the Big Apple, New York City. Join us October 5th through 7th at the Sheraton New York Times Square Hotel in Manhattan. You'll learn how the BSV blockchain is transforming all industries. With its massive scalability, BSV can power efficient payments down to the micro and nano level, and data applications of all types for enterprise, government, and consumers. After so many years of just hearing about the promise of blockchain technology, it's time to see some real uses and real value. Registration is now open, so get your tickets early and stay tuned for more information about CoinGeek New York. BSV Blockchain. It's about time.